there, YouTube. This is David with TechWeb. I'm going to be starting a YouTube series on WordPress. I'm not going to really do the installation of WordPress. It's pretty straightforward anymore. There's automated things that will install WordPress on your hosting accounts, and there's various different types of hosting accounts. Even some hosting companies, such as GoDaddy, that's what I'm going to be using for these examples, give you a managed WordPress environment that already has WordPress pre-installed for you. So that's kind of what I'm going to be working in right now. We're going to be looking at various aspects of WordPress. We're going to be looking at the basic stuff, how to install plugins, themes, update WordPress, the importance of maintaining updates on WordPress. We're going to start at the basic stuff and work our way up to the more advanced stuff. This will get you more comfortable working inside of your WordPress websites. Because what I have come to realize is a lot of website developers will build your website out and they're using WordPress, and then they give it to you as it's your website, and you're left kind of with your hands up in the air going, what do I do now? So what I'm hoping with this series is to give you a direction and a little bit more understanding and comfort in what WordPress is and how you can make it benefit your website, and give you that understanding of how to actually make those customizations within WordPress. So I'm going to pause the video right now, and we'll come back when it's ready to go. All right, now that we have WordPress actually installed on one of the managed WordPress environments in GoDaddy here, and you log into it, it does have a button to automatically log into your WordPress website. If you don't know how to get to your WordPress websites during setup, it asks you to create a username and password. You're just going to go to your website address or temporary address, whatever you put your website on. You're going to go to that web address, and you're going to type in a /WP, like WordPress, -admin. That'll take you to the WordPress admin login, so you can log into your WordPress. And if you did it through GoDaddy like I am, they've implemented a quick start inside the WordPress, where it's going to walk you through a couple steps or a few steps. It's going to walk you through creating a site name, category of your website, contact information, and then pick a theme that's developed by GoDaddy. You could choose to skip this. You can click on no thanks. That's what most advanced users do, or you can click on Star Wizard. For this purpose, we're just going to go ahead and do no thanks. It's pretty straightforward. And we're going to let this load, and it's going to take you right to the WordPress dashboard. This is what it looks like right out of the box. Now, one thing I do want to make sure that you understand is there is two versions of WordPress. You have WordPress.com and WordPress.org. You might be thinking, what does that mean? Well, what is that? What I mean by that is what you're seeing is WordPress.org version of WordPress. It's open source, meaning that everybody has access to it, and it's the full version. You can do anything as far as customization goes to your website. You have access to the actual code. WordPress.com, which a lot of people that I've dealt with, when they're given a WordPress website, they start working inside of WordPress.com, is not directly related to this. WordPress.com is a proprietary-based WordPress application where you have to pay certain levels to do certain things inside of WordPress, and they don't allow you to easily download a copy of that WordPress website. So if you build it on WordPress.com, you're kind of stuck there, more or less. So don't get confused with WordPress.org and WordPress.com, because when you talk to a developer and they say, oh, we need you to get a hosting account where we could have WordPress, make sure it supports WordPress.com, or you're actually going with a hosting company and you're discussing WordPress.org. But with all that said, kind of rambling a little bit, this is the WordPress dashboard. It's pretty straightforward. You have the overview of your WordPress. You got at a glance how many posts you have, how many pages, comments, current WordPress version, theme that you're running. Right now it says search engine discouraged because I have a temporary address up here. You can do a quick draft. It doesn't automatically publish your post right here. It just allows you to kind of start something if you kind of like have a thought of a post. And we'll kind of go over what the difference between posts and pages, because working with people that I've worked with, sometimes they'll create website pages as posts, or they'll have posts as pages, and that can create issues further down the line. And we'll say that for another video. This is more of just an overview of WordPress and the dashboard. Then you have news and events. If you're into that sort of thing, they might have like security updates, or they might have webinars in your area or seminars that you can attend to learn more about WordPress and how to benefit your business with WordPress. Then you have more activity of recent changes that have been going on with your WordPress website. If you have recent comments, you can mark them as spam or trash them down here. WordPress out of the box generally doesn't have this option, manage WordPress. This is something that GoDaddy has implemented that says some of their settings, like flush cache. We'll go over what cache is and how that benefits your site later. You have a quick hover drop-down menu to create new posts, media, add new media, pages, and add users. Then updates. It's very important to make sure that you have updates for your WordPress website. For security concerns and feature updates. That is critical when you're running a WordPress website. We'll go more into updates in another video, because that's going to take a video of its own to actually explain in detail a little bit on why you have to have updates, not just for security reasons, but there's other reasons involved when it comes to updates, and we'll go over that later. You have your posts. You can create blog posts, all posts, add new categories, tags. If you're not familiar with what tags are just something you can, similar to hashtags if you're into social media, so you can easily track your posts, and people can kind of search for certain things within your blog. Like say you have a tag about current events, like you have something, I'm in Arizona, so you have an Arizona tag. So when someone searches for the Arizona tag or clicks on it, if you have tags, they're going to see all your posts about Arizona. Then you have all your media, your pages. Pages are more like static stuff that generally doesn't change all too often. That are not dynamic, meaning that you're not creating additional pages inside of pages. This is usually like your about page, contact page, maybe an events page, portfolio page. That's where you would be putting them inside of pages. Then comments, if you have any blog comments, and we'll go over the importance of comments and features in a later video. Then you have your appearances. You can install themes. You can customize the themes. There's different ways to customize themes. So some theme developers will have things inside of customized, or they'll have another side menu as you progress with your WordPress installation and plugins and themes and such, where they'll have another menu for their theme. Then you have widgets. Generally, depending on the theme you choose, you'll have footer widgets for where you can place certain content, like a contact widget, social media widget. They're just little extensions of your page that are usually in your footer or in your header and the side of the page. WordPress calls those sidebars, but that's where you're going to put that information, configure that. Then you have your menus. You have the main menu. You create the main menu there. You can have a top menu, footer menu. You can have a mobile menu. You can have countless number of menus, and we'll go over those in another video, or might actually take several videos for menus. Then you have your plugins, where you can install view your installed plugins. I'm going to click on that. All the installed plugins. These are the ones that came out of the box with WordPress with GoDaddy here. And then you can add new plugins from up here, or you can go over here and click Add New. You can edit the plugins if you want to edit the actual code that makes up the plugins. I would recommend not doing that, because if you have to run an update on that plugin, if it's not a custom plugin, it will invalidate your changes, and you'll lose those changes, and it could ultimately wreak havoc on your site. So there's ways to get around that. We'll explore that in a more advanced tutorial. Then you have users. It's basic user privileges right out the box. So so you can't really deal with like a members section or anything of that nature. It's going to take an extension or plugin to expand the capabilities of the user's control. We'll go over different styles of websites when it comes to like online stores. We'll go over membership websites, what you should and shouldn't do pertaining to those kind of websites. Because there's different rules that you got to abide by, kind of, or they're like unwritten rules, but some when it comes to actually dealing or managing those kind of websites. Then you have tools. Those are like expansion, some like maintenance plugins that you install, maybe end up in here. They'll add in stuff in here. Available tools, that's just some stuff that comes with WordPress. Right now, there's nothing there. You can import, export, post pages, user data to an XML file, so you can import it into another WordPress website. I generally stay away from those because it doesn't always work out that way. It can, a lot of times the files can get corrupted or doesn't export or import correctly, and it's more trouble than what it's actually worth. I really never really depend on that unless I absolutely must. I usually just do things manually, and that'll be on an advanced tutorial. And then this part right here, these three are new to WordPress. Since I think like version 5, you can actually see the site health of your website. It will tell you what your site is capable of as far as like security goes, some improvements pertaining to your WordPress website. Depending on your hosting environment, this is something you need to pay attention to. Some things you won't be able to do, like on this WordPress installation, I can't modify the WordPress core. That means the WordPress version is kind of locked in with GoDaddy, because the managed WordPress, they automatically update the WordPress core. So that's a plus. And then you can erase export the personal data within your WordPress. Erase personal data. Then you have your general settings, your site title, tagline. This can't edit on managed WordPress. You usually have an email address, default user role. You have different roles that you can set up, time zones, that sort of thing here. Let's see, writing. You can have default post categories. So if you have multiple categories, you can have a default one. When you create a new post, it automatically drops into that default category. Let's see. You can post via emails. I generally don't do this, but you can if you want to. We might go over that in a separate video. Then we go to reading. This is the interesting part, because a lot of people ask me, how do I change the home page of my WordPress website? Well, it's actually done on this page. When you go to settings over here and go to reading, by default, it has your latest posts. So it really doesn't give you an actual home page per se. It just kind of shows you all the the actual blog, because that's what WordPress originally was a blog. If you wanted to change that, all you would have to do is click on here to change it to a static page, and then you select, for this purpose, as a sample page. But you could select your home page, your sample page as your home page, or whatever you called it. And then you want to select a post page or a blog page. So when they land on that page, it will give you the look that the latest post page that previously had. Then you can post and show how many you have at most, items. You can discourage search engines if you're building out your website, so that's nice. Then we have the discussions. This is more like the comments. Who can make comments, who can't make comments on your website. You can set those rules here. We may go over those in more detail on another video. Like I said, this is just an overview of the side menu of WordPress, the dashboard, and where things are located. Media, oops, not permalinks. We want media. Media, the way WordPress handles media is when you upload a piece of media, like an image, it actually duplicates that image multiple times inside your WordPress, and it does it usually in 3 sizes: a thumbnail size, a medium size, and a large size. You can set those sizes here, so when you're selecting your image, you should be able to, depending on the way you're building your site or way the website has been built, you can select the different sizes there when you're adding images and stuff to your actual website. Permalinks, if you ever encounter your website and you're not hitting, like your internal links aren't working, this is where that comes up. So if you're getting like a page not found for all your links, then you're going to go into permalinks, which is, like I said, settings, permalinks. You don't have to change anything here. You just resave it. That usually fixes that problem. If it doesn't fix the problem, then there's probably another underlying issue. But out of the box, you can change the way things look in your address bar. See how it says WP admin options -permalinks. You can change all that. You can have it say the year, the month number, and then the post name when they're viewing posts or pages. And then these are just extension plugins, like I mentioned earlier, how plugins will add stuff to the left side. That's what these are. You can GoDaddy includes some video tutorials to get you started with WordPress. They're okay. I would recommend checking those out. You know, it's good to have different sources for video and tutorials. But that's pretty much it. You know, that's the WordPress dashboard. You have this area. These are just like quick links. You know, they do what they say here. You could turn comments on and off. Manage widgets. These are draggable. See how it says drag here? You can move these around if you want to make it more easier to read. That's pretty much it. Log out. And this is the login page. Go back to WordPress and standard homepage. But in the next video, we'll go more into detail on editing or actually installing plugins and themes. And we're going to go up there. We'll kind of wing it a little bit. And hopefully we can make you understand WordPress a little bit, so you have a little bit more confidence in making necessary changes to your website. Or maybe this is the first time that you built or thinking about building a website and you need some guidance. I will be creating a forum in the near future where you can ask me questions and I'll try and get those answered for you. Maybe we can build a community, WordPress community, and other developers can chime in and help you get in a direction or two. But that'll be it for now. Please, if you like this video and you want to see more, please don't forget to like this video, comment on it, subscribe, and I'll try and get another video posted as soon as I can. Thank you.